Hey there, Virgos. How are we doing? Welcome to your love reading for December 2019. Virgo, this is for you if you have your Sun, Moon, Venus, Ascendant, or Descendant in Venus. So that would mean that you would be a Pisces rising to have your Descendant in Virgo. Your Descendant rules your 7th house. Your 7th house rules your relationships. So if Virgo rules that house, then you may find the messages in this reading helpful for you. Happy Christmas, Merry New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. I hope you're having a fantastic time. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. Even if I don't actually show the likes and dislikes and all that stuff, please do like anyway, because it does actually help to have YouTube kind of promote my readings. So yes, I do appreciate it. So yes, I'll go ahead and get started. But for those of you that are returning, you may find, or will see that the layout is different from my usual love readings. I have still got a row here for how your partner feels, I've got a row here for how you feel, and I've got a row here for further advice and perspective on the situation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we've got the Nine of Coins, the Prince of Cups, and the completion card, the Four of Wands, and the Strength card, the Nine of Wands as well, for how your partner feels. So yeah, I just definitely feel, especially with the Ten of Cups as the overall energy, your partner's in love with you, or they're so besotted, they're so invested, they're so committed, they're so convinced, you know, especially with the Prince of Cups here. Partner's really in love with you, though. But your partners, you're really making your partner kind of fall for you. It's like they're falling head over heels. That's what I'm getting here. And they're like totally like committed. Like totally. That's what I'm seeing here. Very, very much committed. Or at least, you know, they're just not letting go. And then we can see here with the Prince of Discs, again, there's this energy of not letting go, not giving up. The Strength card is about not giving up. The Four of Wands is about stability, security, completion, certainty as well, unwavering kind of energy here. And the Nine of Coins also talk about, as well as talking about a single person. So this person could have been single for some time and been quite happy doing that. Maybe they're doing quite well financially. But it could also talk about someone having a long-term view when it comes to relationships as well, like wanting to invest in the relationship, wanting to see the long-term outcome of it. The Nine of Coins also talks about near, you know, being very, very near to ultimate success, you know, as well. So again, becoming very near to the completion of something. So like I said, this person could be very near to the completion of everything that makes them happy in their life. With the Nine of Coins, they could have friends, family, career, everything, good looks, everything, you know, just have everything kind of sorted in their life. And like you are the last kind of piece to their happy puzzle, I guess you want to put it that way. And yeah, I just feel a lot of security, and I think they're very, very in love with you. And I feel that they don't want to let this go. They want to work on things if there is any issues. They even maybe want to have some sort of celebration with you, which could involve engagement, or which could involve meeting their family and you meeting theirs, and spending time together around other people as well. So like introducing you to the people that are closest and nearest and dearest to them. But I'm also seeing here this kind of renewal or brand new start when it comes to embarking on this love relationship. And that could mean like a consummation of the relationship. So maybe, you know, maybe you haven't even been together yet in that way, you know, maybe you haven't had sex yet, you know, and a lot of the groundwork may have been done in the romancing and the courting and all that kind of stuff. And maybe now it's getting to that point where this person maybe is quite looking forward to or focused on this like final completion of your union. And that could be maybe for the super traditional people, like I have to be engaged to you first, or I have to be married to you first, or it could be that, you know, having sex is the signifier. I know for me it's like that. Don't want to get too personal, but for me that is the signifier of the start of a very of the actual commitment in the relationship. I mean, there is commitment leading up to that, but that really kind of seals the deal, you know. For me that's almost like an engagement at that point, but I probably overthink it. But yeah, it becomes more serious here, and yeah, the Nine of Wands just shows me that this person's just not going to give up on the situation. This person's very resilient. Um, and again, they may feel like they're very much on the verge of completion with you, on the verge of making it real, making it really real, like really meeting the family, on the verge of that. And we have the Ten of Coins, Ten of Cups here as well. So yeah, we're looking at for you emotional fulfillment. And that's what Spirit wants to let you know. Away from all this, there'll be an abundance of love in your life, and that seems to be, the doors of love, or the dams even of love are kind of coming down or opening up, and it's kind of rushing in and spilling over maybe in many areas of your life, and maybe will be affecting many areas of your life too. There'll be an overall improvement, I think, in your maybe sense of well-being with regards to, or as a result, I think, of this relationship developing. So the overall outcome is the Ace of Swords, which is interesting. So again, it may change your whole perspective on things. You may have a whole new awareness of, but I see a victory here. I see a progression for you, an enlightenment for you as well. But maybe you get the answer that you're looking for. So it could be that this person hasn't in the past maybe been too forthcoming with how they feel, or maybe they weren't sure and now they are. And there will be a victory here. So any kind of hard work that you've put into it here with the Eight of Coins, and also the Prince of Discs with this relationship, you will actually see a victory here. Okay, forgive me, my son is next door and he talks very loud. Sorry. So yeah, we've got the Fool card as well for your partner. So sorry, for you. So you are, I think, embarking on something very new here. That's how it may feel for you, really going down a new path. I think you are wanting to also take this leap of faith with this person and actually, I think, embark on this new relationship with them. With the Eight of Coins here, this is your card. This is the Sun in Virgo. So you may be taking things very seriously. As much as you're taking a risk, you're taking a calculated risk with this person. So yeah, maybe there has been some sort of hard work or waiting period up until this point, where things seem to have come to some sort of culmination point, and it's all, I think, come to a bit of a head. It looks like here, though, there is some sort of conflict, inner conflict for you. When it comes to your own inner truth and maybe justice. It could be an air sign you're dealing with. It could also be a Sagittarius or Aries coming through very strongly, or another earth sign maybe. You may feel like you need to make a decision. Maybe this is a big decision for you to be with this person. Maybe you're not too sure. The Ace of Swords is saying that you will have this clarity. The outcome will be you seeing things clearly and being able to make a decision based on good judgment and clarity and clear perspective. So yeah, that might be a bit of a challenge for you. Maybe I'm feeling like there could be an age difference here as well. So maybe that's an issue for you, that there's a kind of age difference in the relationship. there's still some things that maybe you want to iron out with regards to, maybe you're thinking, okay, is this really what I want? Is this really um what I want? With the Five of Wands here, is this really going to make me happy? There may be certain elements of restriction maybe in the relationship as well. There could be power struggles in the relationship. Spirit is reminding you here, and especially with the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Coins, that, sorry, Ace of Swords and Ten of Cups, I just keep saying Ten of Coins, that you are kind of being encouraged here to change your perspective and look at what's good. Okay, so you could be focusing a lot on what could go wrong. Again, with the Eight of Coins here, really wanting to take your time, really wanting to make sure everything's right, and being a bit of a perfectionist about it. Spirit is saying here, I think with the Fool card, you maybe do need to kind of just get involved, just take that risk. With the Ten of Cups here, it is again advice for you to open up your heart space here, to maybe be a bit more brave in love, okay, and open up a little bit and not be so concerned about the details. That could also be causing a bit of conflict within you. Maybe maybe you wanted things to go in a particular order, in a particular way. And also with the Queen of Swords, it is saying here that there is a bit of fear. You know, the Queen of Swords is someone who maybe just overthink things, who's very much in their head, who has been let down a lot in the past and now maybe finds it hard to trust her own heart, and maybe even her own judgment sometimes, and therefore takes a long time to think about things and weigh things up. So there could be a conflict here, but I think with the Nine of Wands here, there's a possibility that your partner actually does realize that there is a kind of struggle here. There is a bit of resistance here, possibly from you. However, they're not going to give up. They're not going to back away from this challenge. I think that they feel it's worth the wait, or worth the endurance, enduring maybe the change, waiting for you maybe to come to this kind of enlightenment and awareness of, the fact that maybe you are still coming to terms or putting some negative experience into a proper perspective, yeah, I feel like it's a little bit defensive, and that kind of causes power struggles in the relationship. But I think a partner might even kind of like it. They might kind of like the challenge or something. Here. But they are very much in love, I think. Very much want to see where this can go. They want to follow their hearts. I feel that you are this breath of fresh air for them. Like, you're very sweet maybe, and they really like you. Maybe their Venus is in Virgo or something. So like, your sun is like conjuncting their Venus something. I think there's definitely some sort of astrological kind of thing here. It's like they just admire you a lot, I think, and they can't seem to. I think you're bringing out their romantic side, So we've got here the Prince of Discs, which does talk about taking things slowly, making sure everything's done properly. But I feel a little bit like this is kind of more to do with the past, that's what's led up to this moment here. And now you're at a stage where it's like, okay, I think all the groundwork's been laid. I think everything's been done by the book. I think you're thinking, I'm pretty sure this person is serious about this, and I feel like you're becoming more and more convinced. And with the Princess of Wands, it's like, yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's go and explore. Let's go and have some fun. Let's forget all the burdens of the realities of life and just go and have some fun and, you know, pave some new, you know, roads. This kind of pave some new roads, but pave a new way, you know. And forget about the past. So there's this energy of forgetting about the past, forgetting all the worries, forgetting of the insecurities, the concerns, and actually looking to see what could be, being optimistic about the future, being curious about the future. That's what I think starts to happen here for you especially. And I think you both kind of carry this energy with both of you in different ways. Like for them, they're being brave in love. And I think for you, I think you're satisfied with all the work that's been done maybe so far. And you're like, okay, we really need to move forward. I feel like you're feeling that we really need to move forward. And I think that's the clarity that you get, that you've done everything that I think, as much as you think it might not have gone in the order that you wanted, or, you know, this focus on details, it's like you got to the point where it's like, okay, look, done enough thinking, done enough making sure that everything's watertight. I want to just get involved now. And this could very much relate to sex as well. Okay, so you might want to take things to the next level and just go ahead and stop worrying so much about things. And the Hermit card here again shows that inner knowing. And I think that's where this awareness comes in. This is the Ace of Swords. Again, this inner awareness. I think you're moving more towards what makes you happy and less towards what anyone expects of you or any external circumstances that might be affecting things. You know, it's like, okay, no, I'm worrying maybe too much about what's going on around me or how things should look. And actually, when I really think about this, in my heart and in my intuition, I'm like, yeah, I want to move towards this. You know, so there's an enlightenment that does occur within you, an awareness. I think it does cause an inner growth with the Hermit card. It does cause this growth, a clearing of perspective, no longer concerned with the unnecessary details, but just focusing on what really matters, and that is your happiness. I think you're easily able to see now how the past has affected the present and your concerns about the future and how they all tie in. And I think you've got a clear view now, a very healthy, more healthy view of the past, the present, and the future. You know, and yeah, it's just a lot more balanced. You're seeing it with clearer eyes now, I think. And that could be the inner conflict. It's just your perspective on things. I think for some time, maybe you've been being very logical about things, you know, basing your logic on your past, maybe negative experiences or kind of thwarted perspective on those things. And now you've got kind of a clearer perspective. And that perspective ultimately is me holding myself back in this way isn't making me happy, so why am I doing it? That kind of thing. I cannot, and also that awareness of I cannot base all my future experiences on this past experience or on past experiences, but I need to move forward. I have to have new experiences, so I have maybe more data, new data to make judgments with, you know, as well. So there's that as well. And that could also be what the Queen of Swords is about this maturity coming, you know, she is also, you know, as much as the king is the master of the sign, the Queen of Swords is also very much the master of, or the master, I guess, yeah, of the sign as well, or of the energy of air. So I feel like there is a maturing and enlightenment that does happen, and that's why the Ace of Swords is here. And then we've got the Two of Wands, which talks about, yeah, going ahead and just saying, you know what, I'm doing this. The Two of Wands is like, okay, the way I was before worked well. It got me, you know, whatever, maybe you put on a mask, maybe you had a certain logic, a certain outlook, and it's like that really served you well. Yes, it did. But you've now come to a juncture in your life where it's not serving you. It's like you've been asked to kind of up level, and that is going to mean kind of a renewal in the way that you're thinking and perceiving love and this relationship in particular. And I think you're saying, okay, look, the old ways worked for me, and that's fine, but I now have a new opportunity, and it will create expansion and more experiences, but I can't bring the same way of thinking into this new life. I can't carry these fears in with me. I need to get closer to who I really am and my own real thoughts and feelings about things, rather than just basing all of my thoughts and feelings on all of my experiences. But what do I really want, you know? So yeah, I hope that's clear. But you are moving forward. You are definitely moving forward. You're taking this leap of faith. And it could, again, be very much related to sex or an Aries, maybe. But definitely, it looks like here, moving forward bravely into a new frontier. Maybe you may even feel like you're pioneering something. You may feel like a bit of a pioneer in the sense that you may feel quite vulnerable as you move forward with this new way of thinking that is protected by the Ten of Cups here, love. Okay, so I think you are in a safe place. I think, as they say, you are safe to love. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull some cards from, yeah, Come to the Edge, Deep Knowing, yeah. Okay, let's put this here. Yeah, then we've got Happy, Happy, you know. That's one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's so cool. But yeah, Happy, Happy is very much like the Ten of Cups. So we're going to read this card in a sec. But yeah, obviously the overall energy here is to embrace all the goodness that's around, be happy, be thankful, be in a state of gratitude. I think that's also going to pull you out of whatever funk maybe you've been in and whatever's causing this conflict. Maybe there's been some hard lessons that you've had in the past that have really affected your ego and the way that you love. Maybe in the past you felt you weren't heard. Maybe in the past you felt small or restricted, put down. And like now it's like there's a new way to look at things, okay? You've got a new person now who seems to think the world of you and will probably never think of doing that to you. And I think you as well maybe have become a lot more stronger and maybe wouldn't even let that happen again. So not only are you safe to love because this person I think is genuine, but you're also safe to love because you do know how to handle yourself maybe a bit better now than you did when this experience happened. So yeah, and again, we've got Deep Knowing. This is about the deeper knowing. This is the Hermit card. This is the new awareness, the Ace of Swords. This is that deeper knowing, okay? So this is not about analysis. This is about meditation, connecting to your heart space, thinking about how you feel, or not so much thinking about how you feel, but getting in touch with how you feel about this, about the situation, about things. How do you actually feel about it? And analyzing that in a sense, like, okay, well, why do I feel unsafe in such a safe predicament? Why do I feel, you know, and trying to kind of get to the bottom of things by connecting to your heart space, I guess, rather than mentally. Your wisdom, following your guiding light, cutting out the crap. Okay, there's a certain amount of crap that I think you've kind of been dragging along with you or something like that. And it's like you're having to shed some skin here in a sense as well. There is a renewal, I think, from within. And then we've got Time to Go, yeah, and Come to the Edge. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to move forward. You've come to the end of the road in something. That's what the Two of Wands is about as well. You've come to the end of the road. Okay, it's time to move forward. the universe is calling you to step forward, I think, into a deeper experience of love, or love again. You know, it's time to have some new experiences, and come to the edge. This could very well be your partner's feeling as well. Maybe your partner is ready to come to the edge. They're ready to take that next step with you, especially with the Prince of Cups here. They're ready to take that plunge, and make that commitment with you. Maybe introduce you to family, or make a commitment to you in some way, you know. And then we've got to be fair here, you weighing up the pros and cons. It's also about being fair to yourself, but again, we've got this owl at the top of her head. So, and then we've got the owl here as well, and the owl also relates to the Hermit card in terms of wisdom. So this is about using wisdom and inner knowing to make a judgment, and not just factual stuff. Oh, well, I've had this experience with this person, and they said that means that this is going to happen in the future. But actually, take a new perspective on it as well. You know, as I've said many times in the reading, so I just keep repeating myself. But yeah, make a fair decision. Don't make a biased decision, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and read To Be Fair, and then I'm going to read Happy Happy. So it says here, to be fair, balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefits, the law of cause and effect. It says life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being stasis to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. That's the point, yeah. That's what I've been trying to say. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. It also says, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as being understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Yeah, all perspectives, not just the one perspective that you've had from that one experience or the past. Your heart wants to connect to others, to allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is a mutual benefit, and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So maybe those are also important things to you as well. This mutual benefit, to feel heard and to feel valued. This card talks about that challenge here. So maybe that's also what's on your mind when it comes to this relationship, is that you have that. But again, it's saying here that if you give that, you will receive that as well. So it's all about give and take. So if you find your partner isn't giving you, or you don't feel valued and heard, and if there's not a mutual benefit, you need to question yourself, well, okay, so how much are you listening? How much are you valuing the other person? And how much do you respect the other person as well? How do you express that? So there is this give and take. So don't think, oh, well, they didn't do this. Think about, well, what did you do? You know, again, it's about cause and effect. So this will play a part in things as well. But the more you come from your heart space, the better the outcome will be. So let's look at number 26, Happy Happy. It says here, joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. I think it's so important for you to carry that feeling around with you rather than fear and doubt, okay? So then it says, your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment. for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experience contentment. So yeah, you have to shake off this negative thing and just be happy. Okay, that's what it's saying here. You just have to be joyful for the sake of being joyful, for the good endorphins and to reduce cortisol and to just be happy. Just, they say if you smile, you actually just feel better, even if you're not in a good mood. So just be happy for the sake of being happy, for the benefits that bring, and experience contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. Yes, that's the Hermit card. All is well, the tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. It also says there are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with, and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. So again, this wanting to return and sharing is important. Really coming from it's like a vulnerable place, really, of offering love, and that's actually going to open up your whole heart and your perspective. Obviously, if it doesn't resonate, you're dealing with someone that's not great, then it's different. But if it does resonate, then yes, this advice I think will be useful. So it says the appearance of this card is in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not someone else, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delightful and delight in your relationship. And if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself like bees to honey. So yeah, it's all about cause and effect. You will bring about what you focus on most, which hopefully will be happiness and joy for you. Yeah. So I think it's a very beautiful reading, Virgo. I would also just say that I wanted to mention that we've got the full moon here, so I would definitely pay attention to the full moon that I think is occurring. Well, they're occurring every month, right? But yeah, around the full moon might be a good time for you to also release anything that your wisdom shows you is not really helpful, okay, for your happiness or towards your happiness. But yeah, it's a beautiful reading. I hope you have a fantastic season. Yeah, sending you lots of love. Take care. Love you. Bye bye.